Matty Holliday to the program. How you doing, Matty?
What's up, guys?
What's going on, man? How was your Super Bowl weekend? Pretty entertaining game. Did you have fun?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I like the halftime show. That's kind of fits right into my era with some of you guys. I enjoyed it. I think I was up front with the fact that I was rooting for the Bengals, but it's always good when it's a good game. I think the NFL probably is thrilled that it came down to the wire and everything seemed to go off. So it was. We didn't have much of a party or anything, so it was good though. So I enjoy it. I'm surprised you guys are having to work on Valentine's Day.
Stupid holiday. I don't like it.
A themed show like this.
Yeah. I agree with you, and I appreciate the fact you root against the Rams, like we all do, because in your heart, you're St. Louis too. So we were talking about what's best for the Super Bowl gathering, and we all kind of agree if you're home, it's a lot nicer. You don't have anyone over. There's not a huge cleanup. But what about snacks at the Holliday family? I want to know what you laid out. What was out there? Because I know you're health conscious.
We went over to friends of ours. So they had. They're also. He's the assistant wrestling coach. So they're health conscious as well. So it was kind of like a healthy nacho environment with some fresh vegetables and hummus, with some buffalo chicken dip and lettuce wraps. So it was. It had a little bit of both. I mean, it wasn't the healthiest situation, but it was also quality food, Jim. So
that's good to know.
That's good.
Yeah, so it was good. It was good. Like I said, I'm always more excited about the Super Bowl when there's teams in it that I have some sort of rooting interest. But so what did you have, Jim? I'm curious. I know that you're probably healthy.
How much time you got?
All right, I'm going to tell you, and it's not because I asked my kid what he wanted.
You're going to like this.
So yeah, this is going to put me right on a tee for you. First of all, I don't want to be bullied, okay? We've already talked about being bullied.
I have something else, by the way. Right. There's something, and I don't mean to interrupt, because that's what you do. Cat is the interrupter. However, this shows your cowardice, because you said last week that the veggie tray is a weak move.
Yeah, he did.
And then Matt Holliday, who's a big-time baseball player, says, I eat at the veggie tray with the hummus, and you didn't make fun of him because you're scared of him.
Yep.
I am scared of him, but the reason why... But
that's a good idea, Jim. You should probably not say anything, because the next time I see you,
He'll
put you in a headlock.
Okay,
yeah.
But there is some truth to that, but there's a reason for it, because I knew it would swing around where he's going to kill me for what I ate anyway. So I wanted to save my ammunition for defense, as opposed to going on the offense against him for pretending to enjoy the vegetable tray and the hummus. Because he did say he had the chicken dip, which is pretty good, right? The wing dip, which is not healthy.
All right, get to it. What did you have?
God, he goes on, doesn't he, Matty? He goes on, doesn't he?
He's drooling. He's drooling over this. Okay, so I asked my kid, what do you want to have? He had 2 basketball games. So we had to go there, and then we come home, and he wanted Taco Bell. So we started with Taco Bell. Then I had gotten French onion dip because my kid likes French onion for the chips. We got a bunch of chips. And then my wife had gotten for Tyler, because we didn't coordinate this, he also wanted wings. I didn't have a lot of the wings, to be honest, but I killed that Taco Bell, and it was good. So we had Taco Bell, chips and dip, and then wings.
Like classic Super Bowl fare, Taco Bell, like that doesn't typically roll off the old tongue with, we had a big Super Bowl party, we got Taco Bell. Like, I don't know, Jim.
All right, well, at least let's put in perspective, okay?
Did you chase it with a big fat lip of dip?
I did.
Yeah, you did.
So, all right, just from a parental perspective, my kid's an active kid. He doesn't have a weight problem or anything. He wants Taco Bell. Should I have said, no, son, we are getting broccoli and hummus?
Or should I You didn't have to eat the Taco Bell. He deserves it. He played 2 basketball games. You sat and watched.
I was coaching. I burned a lot of calories.
Yeah, you were.
I was coaching. And here's how I coach. Good D, guys. because I'm the assistant. I'm not the head coach.
Yeah.
Hands up on defense. That's the extent of it.
Well, yeah. Well, Taco Bell, nice, Jim. Taco Bell and a dip. Good for you.
Also nowadays, when you go, I feel like a lot of fast food. If I went to Taco Bell, I would expect just all of the food to have almost nothing in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hate to say this, but you go to a fast food place, and there's just not a lot of effort put into the
Doesn't
making.
look like the picture.
Yes, it doesn't look like
No,
the
it
picture
doesn't.
at all.
No, it doesn't.
It was good, though. It was good.
Hey, Maddie, did you see that one guy on the Bengals celebrating sandals whenever they got an interception? He runs on the field, and they get a 15-yard penalty. He wasn't even in the lineup.
Yeah, what was that all about? I just, like I said, I just saw a little bit of it. I was kind of in and out on the deal. I didn't see, like, the background on what actually happened, but I did kind of catch a glimpse of that.
Well, he's just kind of an idiot. He just thought that he could celebrate in the end zone, literally wearing sandals, wasn't even on the roster. I mean, has that ever happened to you with anything, any celebration where somebody jumps on the field?
I ran out on the field
What'd
on
you
one
do,
of his
Jim?
homers once.
What'd you do?
I high-fived him at home plate.
We had a squirrel run out on the field one time when Skip was batting.
That's right.
So, all right. So you've had a busy week on top of the Super Bowl and your coaching and parenting, but there was a lot of interest in your intramural basketball game.
Oh yeah.
So we had Travis Ford on, buddy of yours.
Good.
Yeah.
Cool.
And because we wanted
How'd
to
you
get
pull that off?
I texted him.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I
figured.
He didn't know what show he was coming on, so it was just an accident. But
Tricked him. Nice.
But we but we wanted a scouting report. So let's
so here's what happened.
All right.
Yeah. So the guys that I play with are basketball managers, and so the team was actually heading. I think they were heading to TCU. So we didn't have enough players, so we had to forfeit. So my Monday last week, I got a text about 6 that said we're going to have to forfeit. We don't have enough players. And, of course, in my mind, I'm like, well, I have lots of kids. I'll bring a couple of mine, and we'll have enough players. But apparently you have to use the same players all season long. So we didn't get to play last week, unfortunately. I think we play tonight. So it's tricky when your team consists of guys that are traveling around the Big 12 on some Mondays, and so I wish I had a better intramural basketball report for you guys, but this past week was an unfortunate forfeit.
Well, this is where this is good because we have a great report for you. Because I asked Travis Ford. I said, could Matt Holliday play basketball for you? We told him about the intramurals, so we said, Travis Ford, big-time college basketball coach, give us your scouting report on Matt Holliday as a basketball player. So here we go. Give me your scouting report. We'll play it for Matt. Could you coach this guy? What kind of player would Matt Holliday be in basketball?
He would be the best screener on the team, that's for sure. You wouldn't be able to get through him. He would get every rebound because of his determination. And you better give him the ball because I guarantee it he could score. But, shoot, I'd love to have him on my team now. You've seen that guy. He's probably in the best shape of his life. That's probable. But that does not shock me one single bit.
Your reaction, sir?
Yeah, Travis is a good guy. It sounds like he's got it all lined up. So I do have eligibility left. So, if in other sports, obviously I can't play baseball in college. But,
how many games have you played? Like, what are your numbers? Are you getting 15 and 10? And don't tell me you don't
a triple single.
Don't tell me you don't keep track because I guarantee you do.
No, we've only played I think 3 games, so I'm probably getting like 8 to 10 and 6 to 8. But we've blown each team out. We have these kids on our team that all they do is shoot with the college players, so they're like the managers. So they're in the gym all day, and they walk in the gym launching threes, and so we shoot a lot of 3-pointers, and they make a lot of 3-pointers. So that's more our style. But we have the ability, like I said, if we need me to go inside and get a bucket, I'm an inside bucket on some of these college kids.
Hey, let me ask you something. This cat last night, Van Jefferson, his wife was pregnant. She leaves the game, goes and has a kid. He wins the Super Bowl. They meet up afterwards. Just a cool experience overall. But you have kids, and let's say it's your 3rd child coming. You've been through the experience twice. It's the biggest game of your career. your wife's not in labor, but it's kind of like hit or miss. Like, where do you stand on that? Are you like, you know what, I'm not going to play this game. I want to see my third child. Where do you stand on that whole scenario if it was the biggest game going?
Ooh, this is a no-win situation. I think there's not much you can do. I think you want to be there for your wife, but at least in my experience, Leslie didn't do the epidural, and so she was like pretty mean during the whole situation. And she would like rip my fingers apart, and I'm holding her hand, but thinking, this isn't really good for me because it's hurting. So I don't know. As long as she has somebody there, I don't know. That's a tricky question. I think probably try to finish the game and rush over there, kind of like he did.
Yeah.
But I would let her decide. How about that? I would.
Perfect.
There you go.
Perfect.
There you
Safe.
go.
And she would say, probably by the third child, she would say, "Yeah, I'll just see you after." But that's what I would do. Probably, I would let her decide.
So, speaking of your wife, because it is Valentine's Day, are you a guy, do you have a thoughtful gift where you plan it in advance, or right after this interview, will you go out and get some chocolate and flowers? I mean, are you very thoughtful? How do you go about a Valentine's Day?
Yeah, I'm not a big planner. I like to say when people bring up a holiday like this, every day is Valentine's Day with me. You know what I mean? Like, it's just
bogus.
It's a day of love. I love my wife every day. I probably will, after this interview, go get her some flowers and just to make sure I cover my bases, that she's not expecting, that she's expecting something, then I make sure I have something. But I think we've both agreed upon that nothing crazy, that we don't do anything crazy on some of these holidays that I'm not sure how they came about. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know who made up the Valentine's Day. So to answer your question, I'm not a big planner. I probably would be accused of not being very romantic, but she knows I love her. I tell her every day. So I think we're in a good spot.
But you are going to go get flowers. That's
Jim,
true.
What'd you get your wife? I mean, you probably should go above the fact that she's married to you.
Well, we've already talked about how my wife is in love with Tom Cruise, which bothers me a little bit every time I think about it. But
I can't blame her.
She did. You know what she did? Like your wife and you have this little agreement. We were like, let's not go overboard this year. And then this morning, she put out stuff on the table for Valentine's Day, like little. And I was like, I thought we were going to do that later. We weren't going to go overboard. And she said, oh, they're just little things. So I'm going to have to play a little catch up. I'm going to have to play a little catch up here. I was planning to get a little candy, a couple of cards, something that Hallmark can say that I'm unable to express because I'm at a loss for words sometimes. Yeah. So a couple of nice cards.
Yeah. Good for you. You are a romantic, Jim.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Well, this will also be exciting because Kat brought up Tom Cruise. We got into a big Tom Cruise segment earlier, and I just said, look, I think he's arguably the best box office actor, where all those action-packed movies, and I just said I didn't think he was the greatest overall actor.
You said action hero were your exact words.
All I said was he's never won an Oscar. And I'm not saying you have to win an Oscar to be called a great actor, but he's a box office sensation.
But you were saying he's a great action movie, and I said he's had great roles where he was Oscar worthy. He's more than just an action hero.
So,
and then I also pointed out that I was once nominated for a Cape.
Sure. Yeah, so, Matt, what's your take on that?
What were you nominated for, Jim?
Oh, he did it on purpose.
Some local.
He did this on purpose.
He won like something in Delaware once, like Delaware's second best sports anchor.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Cable Ace is a national award. I was nominated. It was a bigger joke than your local Emmys. It was a bigger. I bring that up because it gets Charlie mad.
Okay, so your question is Tom? What do I think about Tom Cruise?
So Tom Cruise, or who do you like? Like, is there an actor you're like, hey, I want to watch all of his movies?
Ask him, is Tom Cruise? Does he consider Tom Cruise a great actor overall, or more of, if you think this is a fair way to put it, or more of someone known as a great action movie?
There you go,
actor. That's fair.
Sure.
All right, let's.
Well, I think. I don't know. He's a little strange. Like the whole Oprah Winfrey and the, the Scientology stuff, I find him a little strange. That doesn't mean he can't be a good actor. I think he's, like you said, he's a box office sensation. Like, people go watch his movies. He doesn't do my favorite movies. Like, I'm more of a, I guess maybe I like Will Ferrell. Like, if Will Ferrell does a movie, more times than not, I'm a big fan. I like a comedy. So I don't know. I would say more box office sensation than action hero. I mean, to me, he's tiny. So, like, I don't know. You can't be much of a hero if you're 5'5". So I don't know. That's a tricky question. I think Jim is probably a hater because his wife likes him so much. So
no, I wasn't hating on him. I was actually pumping him up as more than just an action hero.
Oh, so you were pro Cruise. Okay, yeah. Well, I could be swayed either way on that. I've liked some of his movies, but to call him like a big action hero, I think I don't know. That probably wouldn't be my description.
I sides with Hayes.
I only said that because of Mission Impossible, which I don't even watch those movies.
Sure.
But I feel like there's like 7 of them, and they all make a ridiculous amount of money. So I don't know. So I do think
that's not really my kind of movie.
Yeah, me either.
I
haven't seen any of those.
So on that note, because I think this is, you can learn a lot about folks. You said Will Ferrell. If you had to just kind of throw out your top 5 movies, what are they?
Ooh, gosh, Shawshank Redemption's on there.
Yes.
I like Morgan Freeman. I like the card movies, like the Matt Damon movie with Ben Affleck, Rounders.
Yep.
Or not Ben Affleck.
Ed Norton.
Ed Norton, yeah.
What about the mob movies? Do you like
Casino,
Goodfellas, or Godfather?
Yeah, but I'm not a huge fan of those. I enjoy, but I'm not a huge fan.
What about Tarantino?
Yeah, I like some of that stuff. I like John C. Reilly and Will Ferrell stuff together. I like to laugh. So I like the combination of those two. I like Denzel Washington movies and Morgan Freeman movies. I'm a fan of those.
So how about this? What's a movie that you would be embarrassed to admit on the radio that you actually like? Maybe it's a rom-com. It's something you watch with your wife, but it's a movie that you feel like people will judge you if you say, I actually like it.
Yeah, and you're in a safe space right now, so you can be honest with us. We won't be used against you at all.
No.
Yeah. Well, that's a safe place. The 4 or 5 people that listen to this, I probably know.
Oh.
So, I would say that I've enjoyed some of the Disney movies that you have to watch when you have kids.
Mm-hmm.
If you named off, to come to mind, the rom-coms, I can't think of any that. There's a chance that I would like some. What are you? Is there any embarrassing ones you guys have already gone over that I could kind of jump on board with?
Like some of the Matthew McConaughey rom-coms aren't terrible. Back in the day before he kind of went super serious.
I'm not into any of that.
I have one that might be because I'm an old you guys never even heard of. But I like the movie When Harry Met Sally, which is a pretty famous movie, but it's kind of a rom-com. I don't know if it would be any
Katz's Deli in New York City.
What did you go with, Cam? I'm interested.
Man, I don't have kids, dude. I'm not into it. Like I like hardcore stuff. I know. I do. I know.
Don't say hardcore.
I do
people
though, Jimmy.
People on the text line are going to run in the wrong direction. I'm
just saying.
But you don't mean what you're saying.
Well, I kind of do. But the point is, I'm not into that stuff. Look, if Lion King's on, maybe I'll watch it for 2 seconds because I remember watching it in the 90s, but I don't have kids. I watch Sopranos over and over. I might even watch Game of Thrones for the 18th time because there's really nothing that's out there again like that.
You watch a lot of documentaries.
I watch a ton of documentaries.
We just watched Yellowstone. Did you guys all watch
Hell
Yellowstone?
Yeah. Awesome. Try 1883, but you have to. You only get to watch the first 3, and then you got to order Paramount Prime to watch the rest. 1883 is really good, Maddie. I'm telling you.
I think we just finished the second episode of 1883. I'm on this stuff. I'm on these. I'm on board with these shows right now.
What about Ozark?
I have not watched Ozark yet, although I am a Jason Bateman fan. So
he's good.
I think we'll get there eventually. But it's we're like probably one episode at a night type family. Like we get all our stuff done, and then my wife and I try to settle in, and then my oldest and his girlfriend, we watch shows together. So we get about one episode, maybe two, if we're feeling frisky.
Ooh. And sometimes, Maddie, I'll just go on YouTube and watch something about an earthquake that happened in like 1800s.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. I like documentary type stuff too. I'm a documentary guy.
Yeah.
I like that kind of stuff.
Now, when it comes to handling your kids, okay, because we were talking about Cam will be a great father, even though right now he thinks he doesn't like kids. It's going to be the greatest experience of your life having a kid.
Well,
and you'll be a great dad. But we were talking about discipline and everything. Like, my dad never hit me, but he would always have this,
He should have.
This look.
He should have
I did get a lot of
so
I did get in a lot of trouble. But his nostrils would flare. And to me, when he reached that point, there was an implied threat of physical violence. But he never did it. And I would never even dream. I couldn't hit my kid if I wanted to. You know, even if I thought
What are you
going to ask him?
I'm going to ask him right now. But people,
do you bait your children?
But people see it differently. How do you discipline your kids? How do you do it? I would imagine they're terrified of you to begin with.
Yeah. Well, we don't. I think I've spanked a kid probably a handful of times in my life. We have 4 kids spanning 18 years, so not a lot. The little guy he likes to test it. Like he's got a smart mouth, like funny but smart, like to where my wife went to spank him the other day, and he's like, "You're not even good at spankings. You missed."
Oh.
So he's got a mouth on him. So I have I've read some cakes in my time, just a little bit. Like I have to be careful. You know, I feel like Lenny from A Mice and Men. Like I have big, huge hands that. You know, I don't want to hurt them. I just want to remind them that they've done something that's endangered themselves. We don't spank hardly at all, but I can raise my voice and become. I don't know if my nostrils flare, but I can usually get the job done with the tone of my voice and the size. So
flex of his arm.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, I'm not anti-spanking, but we haven't used that a ton. And so far, like I said, the 18-year-old is a great kid, and so it worked with him. I'm not so sure about the youngest. He may have needed more spanking.
You see, with my dad, we could tell when he was mad by how he walked. So if he's coming to our bedrooms were in the other side of the house, and the way he was walking, and when you're little, everybody's bigger than you. And you could hear by the steps that you're in trouble.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I remember those. Well, Maddie, appreciate you coming on, big boy. I'm glad you enjoyed yourself. Sorry about the questions, but you're a very interesting guy, so we shoot from the hip sometimes.
Why are you apologizing? Yeah, great questions. I thought.
No, hey, look, you know, I'm just
apologize, everybody.
I start my weeks off with you guys. It really sets the tone for a good week.
You're a great American. Good luck in your game tonight.
Yes.
No offense, you're Matt Holliday. If you're 8 and 6.
Double.
I think that's kind of, I think that's, you need to step it up a little bit.
That's short. All right, yeah, that's fair.
All right.
Enjoy yourself,
Maddie. Tell Coach Ford I said hello if y'all somehow wrangle him into another interview.
We'll do
it.
Thanks, Matt.
See you, Matt.
All right, see you guys.
See ya.
Oh, it's so funny. Speaking of that, Jimmy, there's this clip I saw on Facebook. By the way, Maddie's like the coolest guy ever. There's this clip on Facebook where this kid's filming himself, and him and his mom are in cahoots, and the big dad's sitting right there to watching football, and the mom's in on it. He goes, "Honey, can you go get this for me?" And he's filming. He goes, "Shut up, Mom." And he's filming the dad. The dad gets up, scariest looking guy ever. Walks over. They're like, "No, we're joking. We're filming it." And he just turns around, sits back down. And it just reminded me of like my dad would do the same thing. He's not gonna touch you, but you say something mean to your mom. And he gets up. You're like, "Oh God, I'm sorry about that." It's pretty funny.
Your dad's a tough guy, right?
My mom and dad.
Now imagine, I've passed along genes to my kid, not ones that are going to make him, an all-world athlete, but there's a wise guy gene.
Yes, there
so
is.
he's got that.
Yeah.
But it's not like I'm the most physically intimidating guy. So
you don't need to be.
I got to work a little harder.
He's witty, isn't he?
He is.
He's got that wit, doesn't he?
But also, when your kid's 5, 8, 10, 12, you're 2 to 3 times the size of them, right? I mean, My dad is probably 6 foot, maybe 5'11". I don't know. I mean, now he's probably 220. But when you're a kid, you thought he was enormous.
He's enormous. Absolutely.
I mean, I'm way bigger than him
too.
now. But again, when you're 10,
when I was 14,
and he's yelling at you and 15, he's looking over you.
Yeah, you push him around a little bit now, a little bit when you get the chance.
Oh, I can certainly now. I mean, like, playing basketball. Like, I was able to beat my dad in basketball. I may be around, I don't know.
I started to get comfortable
6th, 7th
talking
grade.
back to them about 14.
Beat your dad in basketball, 6th, 7th grade?
Is that wrong?
Charlie's 6'4". He's a 6'4" dude.
Okay, maybe 8. I don't remember.
Yeah, I could see that.
Dad should be able to beat the kid in basketball up until high school years, I think.
It was about that time.
Depends on the age gap. I don't know. Depends on the age gap. 15, 16, you're starting to get built.
You back in your kid. I don't care how good he is. You back him and he ain't stopping.
Yeah. I don't like to go. I would.
You hook him, you give him the old man hook when you're driving. You know what I'm talking about?
But if you're playing sports, even if you're in 7th, 8th grade, you're in really good shape compared to an adult who's not in great shape.
Yes, you are.
And after about 4 buckets, they're panting.
Hey, man, you get some of these young kids scooting around 100 miles an hour in hockey, man. You can't keep up with them. They might not be that good, but they're flying past you, and they got tons of energy. All right, speaking of energy, good job today, guys.